On the 5th day of Grotmas, GW gave to me an Admech detachment about adapting units with new abilities. Welcome to the Grotmas Detachment Show, where each and every day from December 1st to the 24th, Games Workshop releases a new detachment for every army in Warhammer 40k. It's an exciting time and there's a lot to talk about. So let's break it down for you and give you an easy to understand first look at these detachments. Happy Grotmas, everybody! Alright folks, this is the Halo's Creed Battle Clade, a brand new Adeptus Mechanicus detachment that's all about applying different buffs to different units right when you need them. Let's take a look at it, starting off with the detachment rule, which is Neurospheric Transference. It's a bit complicated, of course, because this is Admech. First off, in your command phase, you can pick a number of units based off of the size of your game. If you're playing 1k, you can pick 1 unit. If you're playing 2,000 points, you can play 2 units. And if you're playing 3,000 points, you can pick 3 units. All of these units then gain the Halo Override keyword until the start of your next command phase. You can then pick one of several abilities that they all benefit from. So you pick one of these, either +2 move, +1 toughness, advance and charge, or stealth. It's a pretty wide range of different abilities that help in key parts of the game, from durability to movement to getting into melee. Ultimately, they're all very powerful abilities. The only question is really what kinds of units does this detachment want you to take? Let's take a look. We have 4 enhancements to choose from as always, and this first one is a doozy. It is Transoracular Dyad Wafers. It's a 30-point enhancement that goes on Cybernetica Datasmith. And what this does is it grants the Castellan Robots unit that they join the Doctrine and Imperatives ability, which is massive. Often you're taking a whole detachment just for this. And additionally, the unit also gains the Halo Override keyword. This is great because now suddenly you can have an extra unit benefiting from the Halo Override and the ability to get extra movement, extra durability, potentially a toughness 11 Castellan robot, or advance and charge. All very spicy options. Cognitive Reinforcements is a 35-point enhancement. You put this on a non-Cybernetica Datasmith model, and their unit gains both Doctrinas when they're active. Great, fantastic ability. Next up, we've got Sanctified Ordnance, only 10 points this time. This gives extra 6-inch range to the bearer's unit's ranges and allows them to reroll hazardous tests. It's cute, but I probably won't worry about it unless I have 10 extra points. Inloaded Lethality is the last enhancement, costs 15 points, and this goes on a Manipulus or a Dominus, giving them +3 attacks and +1 damage in melee. Hilarious, fun, and honestly makes them into a bit of a beat stick. So far, very flexible detachment role. We have a pretty wide suite of enhancements. Let's see how the stratagems round it up. Eradication Protocols is a 1 CP strat that you trigger in your shooting or the fight phase, and allows the unit to reroll wound rolls of 1, and if they're in Halo Override, to reroll hit rolls of 1 as well. Doesn't sound like much, but honestly, rerolls are very important to the Admech army. When you can take them, you take them, especially if you are going to be looking at taking things like these robots, or if you're trying to use advance and charge, the Ruststalkers still only have weapon skill 4, so this makes them a bit more effective. Targeting Override is a 1 command point stratagem in the shooting or the fight phase that allows the unit to crit on 5s. Very, very big fan of this one. Of course, it allows your Sidonian Dragoons to get those sustained hits on 5s, and the same applies to any of your other tasers. And sustained in shooting, there's actually a few interesting units to apply this to, so I think you're going to use this strat quite often. Neural Overload is a 1 CP stratagem that you trigger in your movement phase, and it deals D3 mortal wounds to one of your units, but they immediately gain the Override ability. Now do note, this is allowing you to pick one of the Halo Override abilities. They don't have the keyword, but you can straight away just give them +2 move, +1 toughness, advance and charge, or stealth. And it does also specify that yes, this does stack if the unit already is benefiting from one of these abilities. Very good, very strong, very flexible. This is almost mandatory for this detachment. Aggressive Impulse, another 1 CP stratagem here in your movement phase. A unit can disembark from a Scorpius Dune Rider after it made a normal move and are still eligible to charge out of it. Very interesting considering you already had advance and charge in this detachment, but I think I want to play around with it, especially using some melee priests and maybe again some Ruststalkers. Let me know what you're excited for. Guided Retreat is a 1 CP stratagem that allows a unit to fall back and shoot and charge, and if they have the Halo Override keyword, they can also reroll Desperate Escape attempts. Again, a very flexible ability. This detachment wants you to be shooting and fighting and moving around the board in a number of different ways. Finally, we have Analytical Divination for 1 CP. This one is very strong. It is a reactive move, so when an enemy moves within 9 inches of a non-Cataphron unit, they can move D6 inches or a flat 6 if that unit is in Halo Override. You can do some messed up things with this, allowing you to pop into transports nearby, allowing you to keep your big key units safe, and just any number of incredible shenanigans. Overall, this detachment requires you to jump through lots of hoops, but it gives you lots of rewards in return. I think the existence of extra toughness, extra movement, extra durability against shooting are all going to make it a very interesting option to take, and I think it's going to also leverage some of the key units in the army, so I'm particularly excited about this one, even though it does seem very, very roundabout. Of course, let me know in the comments below what you think about it and what you're excited for it. With that, I'll see y'all tomorrow.